Hello. Welcome to the 66th episode of the car.
Okay, so you were trying to be like, okay, I'm going to be like stone face for this. But the problem is that you still did the hand thing, and this is a video podcast now. So you started off going, hello.
Thing is, I was just looking down like so in the moment, and then I look up briefly, and you're like laughing. I was like,
I
whatever.
knew you did not realize that you were doing something weird in the video.
Well, all right. Welcome to the 66th episode of the Karstcast movie cast. I'm here as always with my co-host Jeff.
Yeah, 66. If you do one more 6, that's the devil.
That's the devil. Then we're getting into sketchy territory.
If we get to 666, you know what? We will make it just a devil episode, because that's going to be many years from now. It's going to be over 10 years from now.
Yeah. What are we going to do for our 69th? That's coming up. We got to do something.
You know what? What will we do? We just start reviewing porn.
Yeah. Jeff, what musical won a breaking 12 Tony Awards?
Rent? Oh, it's probably Hamilton, isn't it?
Nope. It is The Producers.
Oh,
The Producers.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know.
I've seen the film adaptation, the Mel Brooks one.
Yep. That's the one.
And then I've also seen the remake with Matthew Broderick.
Is that one any good?
It's not good.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
It's like one of those films where, like, I don't know why you would remake it. Because it doesn't fundamentally... Because a lot of films, you remake it and, like, the new technology, like, changes what the story's about a bit. But this, it fundamentally is the same film, just worse.
That's unfortunate. Did you know about that movie? This is kind of similar. Do you know about that movie Funny Games? That it was Austrian, and then...
Okay. I was making sure that that was, like, a translated film that no one... no one's like, I'm going to make a film, and the title is called Funny Games.
I think it is called... No, it's literally... Hold up. Yeah. But then they, like, remade it. It's from Michael Haneke. Is that how you pronounce his name? But anyways, he remade it, like, shot for shot. The same movie, but in English for the American version. It's the same, just different cast.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But it's shot for shot. It wasn't just
shot for shot, like
a normal adaptation.
Everything, yeah. I have not seen the American version, so I actually can't speak on how accurate it is. But the Austrian version is fantastic. It is an amazing horror movie.
I know that Steve Carell, Paul Rudd movie Dinner for Schmucks was based off of like a French film that was supposedly like very good and very funny. Oh. And then the American version's not good.
Usually how it is, yeah.
Yeah, although the best part of it is Steve Carell, I think, getting hit by a car was the scene. Yeah. That was like the one funny part for me of that film when I saw it in theaters for some reason.
Wait, I watched that with Jaxie and Nick in LA.
Yeah.
We put it
it's
on
not
the
great.
Projector. It wasn't good, but Jaxie and Nick were like, "Oh, it's so funny." I'm like, I don't think it's that funny. It's not that good of a movie.
It's a movie where like I can see you being not super upset that you spent time watching it, but it's also nothing that you would ever want to watch again or like tell people. You wouldn't recommend that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just like one of those mediocre 2010s
2 in the
era
afternoon
films.
Type of movie. Yeah.
I mean, I was saying the era it was from, and then you were just like went off on a tangent about the time of day that you would have watched that film, and I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna agree with that.
It's very well, yeah. I judge films by what time of day they would play at.
So like a really bad film's like 5 a.m.
5 a.m. Yeah, no one's watching that. But
that's how we should start rating films.
7 p.m. You're in the hot spot. That's prime movie watching.
Oh yeah,
time.
Parasite is a prime 7:05, and I push it back 5 minutes because that means you won't miss it on accident.
Yep. Yeah. You're giving room so everyone can settle in.
Yeah, that's how good it is. Mm-hmm. You don't want to miss anything.
No.
Anyways, trivia.
Well, we already did the trivia, but
we did do the trivia.
You got it wrong. Yeah. But we did want to bring up something that we're doing this upcoming week, and because this was Jeff's great idea, I'm gonna let him handle it for right now.
I think that it was kind of both of our idea.
It was both of our ideas, yeah. But yeah.
So with everything going on right now in the world and it being Pride, we thought it would be nice to, do something about it.
Yeah.
And so we're sending all of the Patreon money from this month to the Brave Space Alliance, which is a black-led trans organization in Chicago.
Yep.
dealing mostly in the west and south side, where there's a lack of these types of organizations.
Right.
And we're kind of asking if any of you guys also would like to join us in donating.
Yeah, we figured like a way of you guys should consider donating anyways, but if you want a little extra push, we'll be giving a shout out to anybody who donates over $5 to the organization.
Yeah, we're gonna have a link in the description of this episode.
Yep, and you guys just send us, tweet at us or DM us like your receipt, and we'll give you a shout out. And just know you'll be helping a good cause. And I think that's it.
Yeah, and also thanks to the patrons as well who are making this possible.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys as always. But yeah, I was gonna read off the about us on Brave Space Alliance's page, but you got that one covered, Jeff. So I guess we're good.
I kind of did.
You did. But yeah, just be on the lookout for that. We'll definitely like tweet it out and like remind and do a little thing. But that's what's going on.
Now you can have some kind of like transition wipe.
Yep. So
anyways, how's your day? Wait, no, week. You always say week. I was trying to steal your like thunder because you're always the one who transitions to, the week thing.
But here we are again.
I messed it up.
Thing is, like, it's been only when did we record?
It's been 3 days.
It's been 3 days, yeah. So not a lot has happened. I just like, what was I gonna bring up? Oh, notes are on the phone. Yeah. I've just been busy. I've been working on a School of Rock video, but I'm almost done with it. It's pretty. I have this really cool animation of Richard Linklater that I'm proud of. I'm getting really into motion graphics as of recently.
Yeah.
And I won't spend too much time on this because I feel like that will bore people to death. But I've been like watching YouTube tutorials and like playing around in After Effects more, and I'm like, I can see myself going into motion graphics because it's so fun. What
has it been like for you to have more time for videos than you used to, since you're not splitting with school?
Yeah. The thing is, well, here's the deal. Like, my schedule since graduating on Saturday, my parents me and my family were going up to my cabin on Thursday this week, and I need to have a video out by Saturday. So I've had like 3 days basically to make this School of Rock video. So I've been like super busy with that. And also like watching, now that like good movies are coming out, I've had to watch like Staten Island, which we'll talk about, and the Five Bloods movie. Like I've had so much to catch up on, so I've been pretty busy. But yeah, I can't really speak on it as of yet. But yeah, the Five Bloods is really good though. It is super heavy, but it's really good. Yeah, that's how my life has been. But
that's nice.
Yeah. How about you, Jeff?
Oh, I mean, it's been 3 days.
It's been 3 days.
I was with my family.
Yeah.
Last few days.
Yeah.
Before I even knew we were watching this film for this episode, we all watched it as a family.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is good because then I didn't have to pay the $20.
Right. That's interesting. We both watched it. I watched this with my family too, and during it I was like, this is a weird, I think, mother-son movie to watch with your mom. But you also went through that, so
yeah, it is. But the thing is that like historically, I feel like Judd Apatow films are very much like films that people see with their families.
Right. So
it's like it's just like films where it's supposed to be appealing to like everyone.
Mm-hmm. Before we get too deep into the movie,
but they're not really family films.
They're not family films. No, not at all. Yeah.
So I don't know why we see them all with our families.
There's nothing else.
What's wrong with us?
Yeah. That's an us problem. But okay, I wanted to bring up something real quick, and I'll edit this into the video. But a friend of mine sent this photo today, and it's it'll be up on the screen now. But Jeff is like the face of DePaul University for right now.
Yeah. So okay, so I can explain this.
Because listen, this is the second friend this has happened to, where their face has popped up on DePaul posters. So please explain.
Okay, so when I used to work for DePaul at Cinespace, there was one day that was about 2 years ago, or like a little less than 2 years ago, where they set up this whole promotional photography thing, but they didn't have any students as like models. So they just had the employees who were working be the models for it.
That's why there's so many film kids.
Yeah, exactly. So we had to like set up. First of all, we had to set up all of the like this setup for the photographer before they came.
Oh my god.
And then after that, then we had to be in the pictures. It was kind of dumb.
That's so funny.
I got a free hat out of it.
Wow, nice.
Which is funny because they didn't even use the picture of me in the hat that they gave me to wear for the pictures.
It's such a
I'm
good
just holding like
photo.
I'm holding like a folder with like, and I'm just next to someone who is not there. I've never met that person that I'm next to in that photo.
Man, but in the
yeah. So our friend Nick though,
he's on the side of a bus.
He's on the side of DePaul's bus that shuttles people between the campuses.
If you live in Chicago, there's a good chance you've seen
Yeah.
Nick on a bus.
Right. So, and that was very soon. That was like months after the photo shoot. And then I didn't think they would ever have used mine because DePaul was running this very large advertising campaign on like the L.
Yeah.
Where they had a lot of, because their slogan was like, "Here we do," which doesn't make that much sense. It's really
understands.
dumb.
Yep.
But I was really hoping that I was going to get on an L ad because I was going to then take a picture. I was going to deface it myself and then get a picture of me under it on the L train. Because I thought that would have been really funny.
That would have been really good.
Apparently, my photo now is like right outside the student union.
Yeah. Which
is like kind of a prime location.
Also, it's like that is a side of campus that you, as a grad student, I feel like have never really been to.
Yeah, I had one class on the Lincoln Park campus ever.
Dude, I mean, I barely went to that campus. Ever since like sophomore year, I don't show up to.
Oh, I actually had I had to fill out my schedule, so I actually picked that class because it was on that campus.
Wow.
Because
you just wanted to see what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it was closer to where I lived.
Yeah, it is a nice campus, but as someone I've spent too much. Actually, yeah, I say I don't take any classes there, but I did work at the dorms there, so I guess I did spend a good amount of time on that campus. But
wait, you worked at the dorms?
Did you not know that?
No.
That was my job from all through my sophomore year and part of my junior year. Yeah, I was one of the desk receptionists at the dorms.
Oh, nice. I mean,
did you ever
edit like videos?
I edit them all the time. Yep.
I was about to say, because that's like the perfect job. And here's the thing. Those jobs make more than the CineSpace jobs.
Dude,
where you have to like do a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Did you make like $15 an hour just sitting there and letting people in?
I made bank. Yep. That's the thing. It's like if you're going to DePaul, if you're going to any school, consider looking at the desk. And the beautiful thing about that job is that you could do homework on the job. It was just a paid study hall. I'd go there and I'd work on homework, occasionally sign people in, and then get paid a lot. And I was like, and I only quit because like I needed more time to work on videos and stuff, and it just felt pointless. It also was the thing about it is you can't wear headphones, so I'd be working on videos, speaker blasting, not blasting, but and then like someone would come in and be like, "Is that your own voice?" I'm like, "Yeah." It was not a big inconvenience, but it's just weird. I watched a lot.
Own voice.
I watched a lot of movies on that job. I watched.
Did you ever
Good
get
Time.
anyone to subscribe to you from that interaction?
No. Well, yeah. I mean, there were always those kids that were like, "Oh, check out your stuff." I'm like, I didn't ask you to check out my stuff. That sounded so mean. I didn't. But like,
I don't want you to
I was
check
like,
out my
fuck
stuff.
off. Yeah, no.
It's not for you.
But I got I started getting like recognized near the end. But the thing is, it's not like
Were you recognized for YouTube or just because you were always there because you were the door receptionist?
like, you're always here. You know that?
You're like, hey,
why are you always? I'm like, that's my job. No, but the thing is, it's like it's not. It wasn't like it was just the same two kids all the time. And it got weird. It's like they kept seeing me and they were like, hey, again. I'm like, hey, I'm still here. I don't know. It's not that interesting. I don't know why we talked about this for this long. But anyways, Jeff is outside.
You know what? Whenever, I'm just going to say while we're talking about YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah. Did you is it all set up? Like, it's the Mantis.
I mean, I've had
right?
one.
Yeah.
It's just the one with the Mantis video on it.
Yep. I'll do some editing for
again, I'm going to start making like actual content at some point in the next couple months. So just like follow me just as a
was a little
thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get better at the self-promoting.
Yeah.
I'll have to practice.
I'll help with.
I gotta do what you do, where I take a bunch of like pictures of myself and just post them on all my social media. That's the thing. You have it made where you have it where you just don't have to even write a caption. You just post a photo of yourself, and it's like 5,000 likes.
Dude, it's honestly it's annoying because I'll have like a good tweet that I thought of, and I'm like, this is really funny. And it's the ones that I think are funny that always underperform. But it's the stuff there where it's literally I'll tweet something like, this movie's good, and it'll get 2,000 likes. And I'm like, why?
Yeah. Okay. The thing that I don't understand is that like people follow you because they like your videos mostly. Mm-hmm. And the tweets that get like 30 likes are the ones where you tweet the link to the video.
Yeah. Yep. They never.
No one ever likes those. And I thought that was ostensibly the reason why they're following you.
Yeah. I don't get it. Sometimes they do. I don't get it. Like sometimes when it's one of those monthly watch videos, people go like crazy for them. Like we're talking as if nobody's listening, but like everyone loves those videos, and I love it. Like I'll keep doing them, but I can't wrap my head around that.
Do you leave out the movies you watch for this podcast?
No. Well, sometimes I used to kind of, but now I just go. I feel like I considered because there was one month where pretty much every movie I didn't watch that much, so I was like, this was for my podcast, and I'm like, I'm not going to talk about it here, so go listen to that. And I did that for like 4 movies, so I was like, what's the point?
Yeah. Because I've seen like I think 2 of your monthly watch videos. And I think one of them, like, you didn't mention the podcast ones, and one you did.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm thinking like I don't know what I'm gonna do, but
dude, this is what happens to our podcast on a short week.
Yeah,
because normally we just need the whole like week to recharge.
Right,
and then what I do is I shut you off. You try to message me, and I block you on all social media until the weekend.
Yep. And
just
then
so we have more
come
things
back
to talk
here,
about.
and we But we haven't really hit a dud. We have plenty to talk about apparently, but. People just keep yelling at me on Twitter, and so I haven't been on it that much.
So just note that if you want him to pay attention, just type like and send it to Karsten.
It's not. I don't like how that's gonna end. I don't like it. I feel like. Yeah.
Anyways, our transition to talk about the film now
is going to be.
I'm going to take a bite of this nerd rope, which I opened but have not eaten.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah.
This is some
hear the
ASMR
crunch. I already finished.
This is some ASMR for people who like that. I'm about to bite into a nerd's rope.
So today we're talking about the King of Staten Island. That's gonna be the Instagram clip. Okay, wait. Speaking of Jeff, before we get into this, I want to get this thought out there while it's fresh. I realized from now on, we should either at the beginning or during or after the podcast do a pose for the thumbnail, so that I don't have to scroll through and find a good. Because I don't know.
That's a great.
Yeah.
Idea. I mean, I had us do that one time with Owen. You didn't even use it.
Oh, that's right. I didn't.
It was the one where we were going like this.
Yeah, and then I did look at it, and then I put it in Photoshop, and it looked so stupid. It made no sense. So
I like how that means you thought that when we were doing it at the time, we didn't look stupid.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this will work.
Oh, maybe this will work.
This will be cool. Yeah. But we'll figure something out at some point. But today we're talking about the King of Staten Island. And yeah, it's directed by Judd Apatow. Is it Tao or Toe?
You know what? That's something where if you asked me if I knew how to pronounce his name, I would have said absolutely. And now that you're bringing up those two possibilities, I don't think I can say for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Apatow, but that sounds so wrong. But we're gonna.
It does sound wrong.
It is.
But then when you say Apatow, it also sounds wrong.
Yeah. It stars Pete Davidson, and it's not autobiographical, as Pete has said in multiple interviews. It's apparently like 75% autobiographical, but
which is still
pretty autobiographical.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's good to note that it's not directly autobiographical,
Right.
because that would make you think he did some weird stuff that he didn't do.
Yeah. But
the stuff that it's weird that he didn't do is in the spirit of things that he would have done.
Right. So, yeah.
I just explained what semi-autobiographical means.
That's what you're getting on this podcast. I want to try to do this without Googling the synopsis, but so it's about this guy, Scott, based, like we said, semi-autobiographical about Pete's life. And he lost his dad when he was younger, and this is kind of a movie about him trying to cope with that. Basically, his whole family trying to cope with that. And somewhere in the mix, Ray, a new guy who happens to be a firefighter played by Bill Burr, starts dating his mom, and they kind of clash. I think that's exactly what the Google synopsis says.
So you left out one thing, is that his dad died in a fire as a firefighter. Which is what makes the new guy being a firefighter
interesting,
noteworthy.
Yeah. But that's pretty much.
So I would say, just like how the same percentage autobiographical this film is the same percentage your synopsis was correct.
Yeah. So this movie is really long. It's directed by Judd Apatow, like I said, which makes you think, oh, it's another comedy. It's one of those things. Not only is it not another comedy, it's kind of like it's pretty much a drama. There is not a lot. There is comedy in here, but it's mostly a drama. It's kind of. I mean,
I don't know. I would say I still think it's primarily a comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, of course there is more drama than some of his. I mean, I think all of his films are pretty tonally consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all, comedies that have dramatic elements. Like, I mean, Funny People, I actually haven't seen, I think I've only seen like half of his films now that I'm thinking about it. But, I mean, Funny People, which mixed reviews, but I think tonally it's very similar to this.
Okay. I haven't seen that. I have not seen any of his films. But no, I've seen, I
haven't seen 40-Year-Old Virgin or Knocked Up in a long time. I've seen them, but not in the last 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much I've seen that he's like directed. I've seen plenty that he's produced and stuff, but
a million films, like every Will Ferrell film.
Yeah, yeah. But okay. So anyways, this is just I have things to say about this, but it's just hard to begin talking about it. I guess, okay, the biggest part about it is Pete Davidson. Here's my thing on Pete Davidson. I wouldn't say he's like an amazing comic. I don't think he's like uber talented or anything like that, but I will watch like anything he's in. I have so far watched like most of what he's done, unintentionally, pretty much.
He has a very interesting presence.
Yeah, and it's weird and especially interesting because he kind of does the same thing in all of his work.
No, he's like a total like one trick kind of guy.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of skeptical going into Yeah, I was hesitant. I'll say that going into this because it's so long, and I'm like, can a Pete bit be that long? And I know it's like personal, so like there's a lot to unpack, but like I would say he carried the film. I mean, he did a really great job. And the thing is, it wasn't really like he was trying. It just was naturally very funny and entertaining to watch for the entire time. I will say there's a lot of flaws, but I'm just very surprised at how consistently entertaining it was. Or at least he was. But the only thing about this and what I'm worried about Pete is that he's super interesting. I like him as a guy a lot. Like I can't wait to see where he goes next, but like I don't know where that is cuz this isn't a career. Like, and that's the one thing.
It's not like he's showing amazing range and is like the next great actor.
Exactly. And it's like
is he just going to keep making this film over and over again?
Right. But then I look at certain very like distinct actors like Adam Sandler, for example, or like I'm trying to think of someone else. But you get what I'm saying, like very specific type of comedy where they kind of play the same character, but not really. I mean, Pete is a extreme example of that, but they were able to succeed. They were just playing different variations of it. And I see that being where Pete goes. But I don't know. I think he's a much better dramatic actor than even he gives himself credit for, but that I think this film showcases really well, and I just love to see him go down that route a bit more. But yeah, that's my thought on Pete. But I thought he was great in this film, and that was cool to see. Because, and I don't know if you saw it, but I saw Big Time Adolescence 2, and that also came out earlier this year, but it was at Sundance last year. It's on Hulu, and that one he's really playing himself, and it's a pretty just straightforward comedic role, but it's still really good.
I have not seen that.
It's pretty good. It's just kind of a run-of-the-mill coming-of-age film, but with Pete. But yeah. What did you generally think of the film, though, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, I think I loved the first half, and then the second. I mean, I guess we'll get into spoilers in a bit because obviously this film just came out.
Yeah,
so it's not one of those 30-year-old films where we're like, we're gonna spoil it immediately.
Right.
But like I think the second half felt a little bit heavy-handed to me. Like it just felt kind of like sort of a Disney montage almost of like everything going right in the certain way, you know? It was like this weird redemption arc that just felt a little too straightforward.
I think specifically I won't spoil it yet, but there's one specific scene where it started to feel very not realistic as opposed to at least as opposed to like what the rest of the film was doing. And that just kind of threw me off. But I would agree. It definitely falls apart a little bit in the second half. But I think it wouldn't have if he just like cut the film down. I think this...
Well, okay, I believe this is true, that the first scene of the film where they're like all like on the couch was actually in the middle of the film. Really? And then they moved it to the beginning. I believe that's true. I should have researched that before we started this.
Well, that would make a lot of sense because there are a lot of scenes in here where it's like, yeah, I'll watch it and I'll be there for the duration of the scene, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not adding much to the plot, and that it doesn't always need to add to the plot, but it's also not adding much to the character. So it really just felt like there are no deleted scenes on the Blu-ray of this.
Yeah, no, it feels like it feels like every scene that made it to the final version of the script is like in the film. Yeah. Which is like I couldn't imagine them adding a scene to this film. Yeah. Like what would that even be?
Exactly. But I had so many moments where I was like, this could have been cut. And it's like
I don't know. I feel like I just remember parts of the film that shouldn't have felt that big. Like I remember him being a waiter for like a really long time in this film.
Dude, the waiter thing.
Like we just watched Pete Davidson be a waiter.
Yeah.
For like 20 minutes.
It's like there was the fight at the end, like the weird fighting thing that they do at the end of the night. The thing is,
I didn't get that.
No, I didn't get why it was there. And part of me is like, part of this might be them trying to say as much about Staten Island as they can. But this film didn't feel like it was about Staten Island.
It didn't feel like that at all. Yeah. Like, they mentioned it in the beginning, or like when they're all outside. Right. Talking about like how Staten Island's kind of crappy. But like we can make it good. But it really just like tailed off. Like, it was barely about Staten Island. I mean, yeah, like... Yeah, you know, I was going to say something about the end of the film, but we haven't gotten definitively said that we were,
Yeah. You know who I really liked in this film was Bill Burr. I thought he was really good. And the thing is, Bill Burr, I like go back and forth on my thoughts on him, but he's had a good week. There's this film where I really liked him in it, and I don't know if you've seen that clip of him on Twitter, like checking Joe Rogan on his podcast, but it's great. It's so satisfying to watch someone check Joe Rogan and tell him to shut up. But dude, he's so good in this. Similar to Pete, I want to see him do more dramatic stuff because I think his anger, like his angry bit, like works well in that setting. Because it feels so genuine.
I mean, the scene was fairly early in the film, but the scene of him, like, yelling.
Yeah.
Was like one of the best scenes.
Right. Exactly. That scene, I was like, okay, this is starting to pick up. And then he doesn't really do the angry thing for a while. I guess that's kind of a spoiler, but not really. But yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, Carson said he doesn't do the angry thing for a while.
Someone's watching this after this and being like, well, I guess he's not going to do that for a while. But yeah, I mean, he was a clear standout. I just wanted to see him. I don't want to say I want to see him more, because honestly, I could have seen less of everything in the movie, but you know what I mean. I didn't expect Steve Buscemi to be in this. Buscemi. I don't know how to.
Is it? I feel more confident in this one than the first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Buscemi.
I'm going Judd Apatow, Steve Buscemi.
Shemi. All right.
Those are my two pronunciations that I'm sticking with.
Okay, I'm cool with
I
that.
won't be looking like a fool today, Karsten.
So, but here's the thing. I guess I'll start to get into my main problem with this. Is that, like, I didn't, when it ended, like I said, I never had a problem watching it. There was never anything remote, like, obviously wrong about it. But by the time it ended, I was like, what was the point?
That's a good way to sum that up, because there wasn't really any, like, conflict in this film that was that big.
No, there really wasn't a plot. And
it was more of like an internal conflict, and it wasn't even necessarily fully resolved in the film.
Yeah, no.
It was like a little bit.
It seemed like a movie that was where its main goal wasn't trying to fix Pete and this is why I kind of respect it. It's realistic in this sense and dealing with trauma, where it's not trying to fix it, it's just trying to kind of understand it and move. It's more about moving on rather than fixing, I guess, if that makes sense.
I think one of my issues though is that is definitely true, and that it takes a more realistic approach to how someone would deal with that. But then you pair that with the completely, like, ridiculous happenstance second half of the film, where it's like this weird paradise pseudo therapy.
Yeah. Yep. And then it doesn't really. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it had an ending really. And I felt very. I don't know. I was just so. I felt like I spent so much time with Pete, and I do understand him a bit better now. I look at him differently. I think he should, like, leave SNL. They treat him so badly there. But, like, I don't think this was a great film. And this leads me. Well, I feel. Okay, I guess I'll just get this point across by saying this. It reminded me a little bit like Honey Boy, where this was a movie for Pete, the same way that was for Shia, and it just wasn't dealt with as much care as, like, Alma Harrell did for that movie. And I halfway through this, I was like, I kind of wish, and I don't mean to say Alma Harrell is just like the therapist director who just deals with people's problems, but she would have had such a great take on this. I feel like
well, I feel like Honey Boy managed to toe the line of it, not feeling like a documentary necessarily, but the scenes feeling more akin to like a real situation. Yeah. Where obviously that's like what ostensibly acting is, but Judd Apatow makes Judd Apatow comedies. Yeah, yeah. And it felt like you were inserting this more real story into one of those, where it never felt like this is what would have really happened.
Yeah. And the thing is,
because none of the scenes were very harsh.
No, yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
The big anger scenes of this never felt like they were harsh in the same way that Honey Boy did, where they were not traumatizing scenes. They just felt like, oh, this is actually kind of funny. Yeah. It was like viewing itself through this comedic lens, rather than Honey Boy, where it felt like this very gritty, realistic approach to these traumatizing events in someone's life.
That's a good point, yeah. And I think Staten Island, I guess Staten Island works better in that way, because I think Pete is more on brand with this than he would be in a Honey Boy scenario. But I agree. I think this is kind of stuck in the middle of what it wants to be. But I would say, like, I do like the tone of this film. And it makes me want to... I doubt everyone's saying this is kind of different from what Judd has done. But I would watch, like, more of his stuff. Because I just thought what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, it's funny that you say that because obviously it counters the thing I said in the beginning. I don't know. I mean, again, it's been a few years since I've seen Funny People, but that like the feeling from that for me was similar. Maybe it's not similar to, because I imagine 40 Year Old Virgin and Knocked Up are a lot more on the comedy side, right?
Yeah.
But Funny People is at least a little bit darker, so that's why that would be the one that I think it was the one that felt similar to.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like the thing I appreciate most about this movie, and it's also a flaw, is that it feels, and this kind of brings back my very first point, is that it feels like a drama with comedic elements in it. Like it's finding the humor in these awful moments, but in that, like you said, it's bringing away a lot of like real harshness that I think is crucial to caring about what's going on.
Yeah, I never, and that's the thing, for something that where there's like a mental illness side of it, it never makes you really feel like there is.
Yeah, that's
like it feels like there's
true.
so much agency in everything Pete does in this film.
Yeah, that's Like
I don't know. It's difficult to know how to like interpret that sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know if you had any spoilers. Did you have a spoiler point you wanted to bring up?
Not really. The only time I was getting close to that was...
Jeff actually did spoil it very slightly. It's not a big deal, but if you want to skip that, go to the 38-minute, 38-second mark. Thanks.
At the end of the film, I was going to say it was like about Staten Island, where when they went to New York City, like Manhattan, obviously Staten Island is part of New York City, but when it was like a big thing that they were leaving Staten Island to go to like the city.
Yep.
But they both then were like going to go back. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just more of a Staten Island centric point where that was one of the times they actually emphasized that it's like a different place.
Yeah. Should I put a spoiler for that beforehand?
I think you can.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know if any. That's like not.
It's barely.
You know, just saying they go to Manhattan at the end.
Yeah, I will anyways, because I guess I'll just bring up one thing that I really wanted to bring up, which was, and I don't know if you know who this is, but Action Bronson comes in at the end.
I'm aware of who that is.
Yeah, he's like kind of in the underground scene of rap, but he also has that one cooking show. He's really funny, and he's so funny in this movie. Like, I loved his cameo so much, and but again, like, didn't see the point in why it was there. Like, it was super funny, but it makes total sense that you brought up that first scene could have been in the middle of the movie, because at the end of the day, this just felt like a bunch of scenes thrown together in a way that could have vaguely connect to each other.
It's like pretty funny, and it's easy to watch, and it's like it's pretty entertaining, but this film does not really make you think.
Yep, exactly.
In a way that I think you expect it to based on the subject matter.
Right. So yeah, I think that's most of what I have to say about this. I wish I really wanted to like this, and I still do, but I can't deny the fact that it just feels very empty in a lot of spaces, and that I felt nothing by the end. Unfortunately, but I think this is like I think this is a great moment for Pete, and I think Pete has a really bright future ahead of him. So I guess that
was very uplifting.
That's what
honestly.
I'll end on.
That statement made me feel more than the film.
What are you feeling for a score?
So I gave it. I was in between 3 and 3.5, and you know what? I just went 3.5.
Nice. Okay, that is exactly what I'm in between right now, and today I'm feeling a 3. So we'll stick it there. But that was The King of Staten Island. It is. I'm not gonna lie.
Really,
you say it.
You first. You don't lie.
It is. I was gonna say, like, it's available on Amazon, but it's like $20 if you want to watch it. But
it is, yeah. So it's more of like a watch it with multiple people.
Yeah.
And, either have your parents pay for it.
Yep.
Or you just like split it with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Although again, only if the place that you're watching in lets you have gatherings with other people.
That's true. Yep.
Now, what I was gonna say is the final rating for this film. What time of day are we giving it?
I'm giving it like a solid.
I think like a 4:30.
I was thinking that 4:30. Like you just got off work, you'll go hit up the movies, but by the time you get out, you're just gonna continue with your night.
You still have some stuff to do. That's the thing.
This isn't.
So it's, and if you want, you can watch a better movie later.
Exactly. This isn't your night plan, but it's an after work plan. You're gonna do this after work, but you're not gonna make a night out of it.
And at 4:30, maybe you're even sneaking out a little bit early.
Yeah. Hey.
That's something Pete would do in this film.
Oh yeah.
Except for he wouldn't, because he wouldn't have a job.
No, yeah. Cool. Well, that's that. We can move on to some questions. We got some. I had to like narrow them down. We have questions for next week now, and this week, of course. People, I don't know. I like the questions. It's loading. Oh, I guess I'll take this time to say if you want to get in on this fun, go to the Karstcast subreddit r/Karstcast. We're almost at 1,000 subscribe members. That's what they're called. Yeah.
Yeah. Alternately, you can physically mail a postcard to Karsten with a question on it.
Yeah. Yep.
This is only for people who already know its address, because I'm not gonna reveal it on the Karstcast.
Where is it? Oh, wait. I saved him to my photos. Okay, wait. I only saved... Okay. You know, we'll just do this first one. Okay, this one comes from Kiki521. It is, how are both of your golf games? And I wanted to bring this up because I recently decided I'm going to get into golfing again. Because my friend at home is like going golfing at this place near our house. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to join. So golf is on the mind. But how's your golf games?
Okay, so I'm from Florida, which is a very good state for golfing.
Right.
Possibly the biggest state for golfing. It's like where all the pros live.
Yep.
I actually did not start golfing until I was 20, which is very stupid. So I would have been really good if I started when I was young.
Yeah.
But because I started when I was 20, I'm not very good. But I had a stretch where, like, when I lived in Florida, the final couple years of undergrad, and then like right after I graduated, I was there for like another year. I was playing like pretty regularly. Like I probably played 25 rounds a year or something for a few years. And then like the last few years when I was in Chicago, when I come home I would play, but in I would say the last year I've traveled so much, and like there's been like COVID. I think I've played one round in the last year.
Damn. You gotta.
So if I had to guess, if like say I was gonna play like a normal par 72 like tomorrow, my guess is that I would probably be shooting somewhere like 115.
Yeah.
Which when I was at my best, I would shoot usually mid 90s pretty consistently.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's decent. It's for like for someone who plays golf like once or twice a month, it's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We should play golf sometime.
We should. I have clubs in Chicago.
Awesome. How much is the is that one near the lake? I'm assuming that's kind of pricey.
That one is a 9-hole course.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I prefer to do one, 9 anyways.
Yeah, but there's one that's actually like, it's on Addison, but like 20 or 30 minutes like west, and it's really nice, and it's like kind of in like a nature preserve area. Ooh. Sort of.
Nice.
But that one's like pretty fun.
Yeah.
And that one was like maybe low 30s.
Okay.
Or 18.
Cool.
I'm for 9, probably like 20 or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess I'm in like the 115, more like I'll say like 100 range for like a par 72. I have also not played in a while. And
what's the furthest you've ever driven the ball?
God, I can't remember. But I haven't gone to a driving range in a long time. I did go. Have you ever been to Top Golf? Have we talked about this?
No.
I went. My only.
I think you talked about this once.
Yeah, it was in Florida, in Orlando. When I went there for the Orlando Film Fest, I went with my dad to Top Golf, and it was a great time. It's awesome.
Yeah, it looks fun.
But I can't remember.
My longest drive it's 295.
Yo, that's pretty good.
It is. It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I'm very tall, so that helps.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I've hit like one that was 285 as well, and those are the only times I've ever gone over like 275.
Okay.
They were just like 2 like fluke drives that I happened to hit perfectly.
Nice. See, I went to golf camp as a kid, so I should be decent. Do you want to see my golf swing right now?
I did once as well. It was just for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
But you have you have some golf thing next to you?
I was going to ask if you want to see my golf swing because we're...
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
You know what? I don't have that much room. I take it back. Well, actually, you know what? I already brought it up. Oh, see, I can't hear you now, but we're going to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we're just going to plop it right here. So you have...
Yeah, so you can't see that.
So we're going to move the mic right like this, and...
Yeah.
So that's my golf swing.
So yeah, it did. I mean,
really,
it
not
looked
great
like
podcast
someone
content?
mimicking a golf swing, but I think the issue is that you need a golf club.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, the issue is that you kind of need a golf club with the weight to actually have the swing like flow
Right. But it was pretty good form, right?
But yeah, I mean, I couldn't see your feet, and that's a pretty important part of it. I mean, the only thing I can say is that it wasn't terrible.
Okay, thank you.
Like, and again, I'm not very good at golf. Like, we would probably shoot within like 10 strokes of each other for sure.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
But
we would have an awful golf match round. Whatever.
I mean, once I played golf like super drunk with a friend who was more drunk than me. Like, it was a 9 a.m. round, and we both like chugged 4 Locos.
Yeah. Ew. That sounds
which is
awful.
like a caffeinated like beer drink.
Yeah.
It's like super alcoholic. And I shot, and then because we were drunk, we decided to play from the tips.
Wow.
Because that's the decision you would make when you're drunk, which is like the furthest, make the holes as long as possible.
Right.
And so I shot 150 and he shot 160.
Jesus Christ. That is a lot of hitting.
Yeah, and it was pretty hot out, so it wasn't a good idea.
Man. All right, well, that's the golf talk for the week.
Also, on that round, it was in Orlando. Mm-hmm. And on the 18th green, there was just a giant flock of wild turkeys.
That's not...
Like, we had to run up there to like get them away so we didn't hit them with the ball.
Yeah. See...
So I didn't want to hit into a wild flock of turkeys.
Yeah. I would just like to say, like, being a caddy was like one of the worst experiences of my life. I hated it. Especially being a 4 caddy. I don't know if you know what that is, but that you don't carry the bags, but you go out you run out to the hole every time they hit off the tees. Yeah. And you just watch for where the ball's going. And the terrifying thing about that is you're like where the balls land because you're trying to find where and you like...
Right, so have you ever been hit?
No, but I've had a ball. I've been sitting somewhere and lost the ball, and the ball landed right next to me. And I was like, it was literally the most terrifying thing I've ever. I was like, I think that was my last day. I was like,
why don't you wear a helmet?
They don't let you do that. And also, I didn't want to be the helmet guy. They were all mean. I got locked out of the caddy shack on my second day. I hated being a caddy. It was the worst.
Did I ever give you like a good tip though?
I got a few good tips, but I got more bad tips than I did good ones. And you know what? Maybe I was just a bad caddy, but I will forever blame that on them rather than me. They were assholes.
That'd be so funny if a guy hits a bad shot and the caddy's like, it's your fault.
Literally, sometimes they'd be like we would be hitting it off in the first 3 holes, and then they'd start having a bad game, and that's when they start just like hating me. And I'm like, sir, I'm just carrying your clubs. Anyways,
yeah, golf.
Be a desk receptionist instead.
We both know how to play it.
Yep.
We're both not very good.
Yeah. I've talked about my best job experience and my worst job experience on this podcast. Anyways, this next one comes from Only for Jeff Cast, and it is with Tenet here in little over a month. What would you say is your favorite and least favorite Christopher Nolan movies? Hope you have a great day. And I wanted to bring this up mostly to ask you, like, what do you think about the fact that they might be opening theaters for Tenet?
Yeah, I mean, that's something where when it's going to happen.
Yeah, kind of.
We have to just see where.
Yeah.
Thing is, to see where we're at.
I'm like kind of depending on that because like I've had I've said this like a few different times, but I was planning on doing a Christopher Nolan rank video like I do for most like big directors.
Oh, yeah.
So I was kind of like, what's the word? Depending on that movie. But I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I want to go see it really badly, but I really, especially in Chicago, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to see. But as far as Christopher Nolan movies, I'm not like that big of a Christopher Nolan fan, so I don't even know what my favorite movie of his is.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen The Dark Knight, Inception, Interstellar, Dunkirk.
Okay. That's kind of the top 4 that people have seen. I guess I did like, you know what? This is, I liked, I'm going to say Inception. Inception was really cool.
I saw Dunkirk at the Music Box, and that was fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, I think that's my favorite just because it's at least like a very interesting film.
Yeah. Dunkirk is
I feel like
awesome.
It's Dunkirk. The thing about Dunkirk, it's like a film that I think you have to watch on a really big screen.
Yeah. I have not rewatched it since I saw it in theaters, and I don't think I will. I don't know.
Ever?
Well, maybe.
Not even for your Christopher Nolan ranking?
I'm definitely not rewatching it for that. I have to rewatch Interstellar. I'm not... Yeah.
Interstellar, okay, I enjoyed Interstellar. That's the one where I mentioned that I saw it at the Navy Pier IMAX.
Yeah.
And I was in the front row on the side, so I like couldn't see the whole screen with just like my field of vision. I had to like look around.
Yeah.
Which is funny because when characters were like talking to each other on the screen, I had to like look back and forth. It's like a real conversation was happening in front of me. I was like,
"You're in the movie." Yeah.
But yeah, that one, just the ending was weird.
That's
because it seemed like the science. They took like a lot of care to make the science kind of make sense,
right?
And then the ending was just like it felt so like. I guess people are like, there's theories like maybe this could be sort of true, but like it just seemed kind of a bit strange.
Yeah. You know what? This is going to get me a lot of hate, and I don't think it's a bad movie, but I'll say Dark Knight is my least favorite. That doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just out of his bunch. I don't.
Yeah, it sounds like you're going to have a Dark Knight when all these fanboys keep yelling at you.
I like any movie. That's why I'm like, this video is gonna suck, because any movie I put last is gonna get trashed because his fan base is so strong.
Yeah, a Dark Knight does sound like some kind of like it just sounds like some kind of like thing that someone would do to you, like where it's like you like TP someone's house and then like spray paint the toilet paper black.
Yeah,
just like black out your windows or something.
Do you hear about John? He got Dark Knight.
It sounds like a prank.
Yeah. He got the Dark Knight treatment. Or they just say he had a Dark Knight. That's it's like the most underwhelming movie ever. Oh, that'd be so funny. Okay, it really wouldn't be. What was the last one? Oh, this one comes from Stop Motion Samurai, and it is, now that you are both graduates, what are your craziest college stories that you would like to share? Feels cool to be an alumni.
Yeah.
I'm in that group.
I mean, I have one that's not really, I feel like no one wants to share any stories that are like kind of sketch on a podcast.
Yeah,
so I'll just share one that is like legitimately crazy.
Yeah.
In that it's weird that it happened.
Yeah, go for it.
And I might have shared this once on this podcast because again, we've had so many episodes. Who knows? But it was when my roommate and I were gone from our apartment for like a week, and it was in the middle of the summer in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
Now, people from Florida know that in the summer we have these bugs called love bugs.
Right.
And there's just swarms of them in the middle of the state. So like when you drive on a highway, your car will just be covered in them.
Yeah.
So the weather stripping at like the bottom of the door like was just like had a hole in it. And I guess there was like the top of this apartment complex. There was kind of like a wind tunnel that kind of like pushed the wind towards our door. So I come back after this like week we're both gone, and I open the door and my wall is just covered in thousands of love bugs like inside the apartment.
That's awful.
Like thousands of them.
That's
They're
really
just covering the walls. It looked like wallpaper.
That's terrifying.
Now the good news is they don't bite, but it was just like I was like, what? So I spent about 90 minutes, and I just had to I had to vacuum them. Is the only way I could get rid of them.
Oh my god.
So I spent 90 minutes just vacuuming bugs.
I don't like that at all. I hate bugs, and that just really skeeves me out. That's not like, well, I guess that is.
Love bugs are chill though, and also
It
I got
doesn't
to the
matter.
point where like I would touch them with my hands because like when you have a million of them in your
You have to.
apartment,
Yeah, you have to.
don't care anymore.
Jesus, dude. That sucks. Well, all right. I don't. Can I count Paris? Like
Yeah.
a thing that. Have I told you about the bus thing that happened there?
Oh.
I definitely have.
I don't remember if you have, so tell me again.
Okay. It was just like we took an overnight bus back from Amsterdam to Paris, and it was like the worst idea. Like this isn't that crazy. I really had an underwhelming. It took like 14 hours. I was up the whole time. Like 3 guys got kicked off of the bus. I was stuck with my friend Chris in the same, like we were in the same row. And Chris really had to go to the bathroom, as in like a number 2, and the toilet was broken on the bus. And they were out of toilet paper, and I was like, you can use my sock. And I like gave him my and he was like dying in the seat next to me. He never used my sock. And it was just a bad night. It was,
Yeah.
it's not that crazy, but it was just awful.
Well, so that reminded me because I did 2 study abroads, but they were like short term, and they were doing archaeology in the Bahamas.
Oh.
So the second one I did though, there was something that like happened on it that was so crazy that I can't say it on this podcast because it's too crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
But
you just want to acknowledge it?
I just wanted to acknowledge that I have a crazy story.
Yeah.
But it's too crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. Yeah, I have my immediate thought. I did have an immediate thing that I could have said. That was the most like it was the craziest, and definitely, yeah, it was a really intense experience. But I'm not bringing it up for the sake of.
I mean, one time
the person
I
involved.
beat you in a Smash Brothers tournament when I don't even own a Nintendo Switch. So,
dude, I will say like the Smash tournaments we had were like my favorite. Those were some of my favorite times in college. I will, and we're gonna make them happen again. They're not done, but that was yeah. Anyways, cool. Well, I think that's all we have for questions for this week. We have a lot of
I think so.
good ones lined up for next week. We are gonna, you know what? I'm gonna decide this. Meme of the week is getting pushed back again. We're already
Meme
too
of the
deep.
month.
Meme of the month. Yep. It's getting, at this point, it's gonna be meme of the last 2 months.
Yeah, it's gonna be meme of the 2 months.
Yep.
And yeah, so what do we? Is there any further update on that?
On meme of the month?
Yeah.
No. We're gonna figure that one out. But that's what we got. I guess we'll finish this off by thanking
Oh, I also have one other announcement.
Go for it.
The Karstcast movie has also been pushed back.
I was gonna, okay, like last week, I was like, what happened to the Karstcast movie?
Dude, it like
Fell
when
apart.
I wrote out all of the things I'd have to do, it just got like a lot for right now.
Yeah.
But it's gonna happen at some point before this podcast ends.
Yeah, which could be
It's-
a long
yeah.
time from now, but it
Yeah.
will happen. So
Yeah, like in that, like the work that I put on it so far will be a part of it.
yes, I'm excited.
It's just that I think it can't be the only part of it because that movie would be too stupid. Like I think that can be a part of like something else.
It's gonna be stupid regardless.
Yeah.
But,
so when we things get back to normal and we both are in the same place,
Yep.
we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah. Cool. What was I gonna? I was just gonna promote something.
That's it for announcements of us pushing things back.
Okay, well, as for a review, every week we like to read reviews to encourage you guys to leave reviews. It helps us out a lot. This one comes from Delighted in Detroit. The subject line is impeccable vibes, 5 stars, and it reads, It's like two friends keeping you company. Basically, the only reason I survived quarantine. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. That is very accurate. That is literally what this podcast is.
We're just hanging out. You guys are part of it. So yeah, thank you, Delighted in Detroit. And
we also are lit reasonably similarly today. Like you can tell that your light is kind of off to the side here.
Yeah, it's a weird like.
And mine's like right.
Mine's a big clunky light, but the thing is, yours. It's like as soon as you hopped on the Zoom call, I was like, Jeff has a light. Like it's that kind of lighting where I'm like,
yeah. Well, and this because everything else is dark. It's a light panel that's being bounced off the ceiling just for a more ambient.
So that's a really bright light. Is that the panel bright, one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a panel. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Well, we'll finish things off by thanking our patrons. If you would like to become a patron, go to patreon.com/Karstcast. It would really help us out. And you get exclusive access to bonus episodes, Q&As, shout-outs at the end of every episode, and much, much more. So we would like to thank Allison Grace, Annabelle Falk, Boat, Connor Holmes, Dr. Aneurysm, Eden, Ethan Kell, Holly Edwards. If Karstcast is so good, where's Karstcast 2? Iron Tusk 93, Iva, Jacob Kolnis, Joshua Krizwicki, Josie Eiler, June Australian Winter, Liv Robb, Martin Deff, Mary Lee Borslow, Moses Ox, Ready Steady Ernie, Robert Burke, Sergio Palacio, Sophia Arieta, The Rat from Ratatouille, Vegard Strom, Vera S., and What's the Matter? Thank you so much. You guys are the best. That name change got me this time. I don't know why Karstcast 2 is funny. It's just an alternative.
Yeah, I think that those jokes were like kind of starting to hit a lull.
They were,
we got brought back into it.
We got keeping us on our toes. And I don't know what to refer to this person as because I only know them as these names. But thank you. Cool. Well, God, what else was that? I had something else I wanted to say, but I have no idea what it was. I wrote down Jeff Sign from DePaul to see. Well, I guess that's all I have to say. All right. Do you have anything else to say? It was about the DePaul Student Center photo, but that we already talked about that. So
we did.
Oh,
we have to
pose.
Do the. Yeah.
All right. So I'm just gonna be like.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna.
In chat.
I'm gonna give a. No, we're not doing that.
Dude, honestly, the way that you sat there for a second, it looked like you were wearing like a shirt with like a popped collar.
Oh wow, yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give it a thumbs up. Wait, move your hand down so it's not out of frame.
And then, do I go like? No, that's bad.
No, that's good. That's good.
Should we also do a thumbs up?
Should we do?
No.
Hey, that's good. That's good. It's just King of Staten Island. That's me. I'll put crowns on us. We're the kings of Staten. Okay, we're dragging this out.
If you leave this into the podcast, that'd be really funny, especially for the audio version.
Fully leaving it out. It'll just be gaps of silence. Okay, Jeff, do you have anything else to say?
Catch you on the flip side.
No, catch you on the flip side.
What?
I'm gonna flip side.